Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurliyana Dalillah Binti Ariel Tunguia, together with my research partner, Fatin Binti Mohsin. We would like to present on the factors influencing acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students using technology acceptance model. We will begin this presentation with the background of the study.
First, I will present the introduction or background of study. The evolution of technology has taken place in the world that enable to connect virtually with people around the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has spread worldwide and has surprised all the world with the novel coronavirus. Government have responded with unprecedented policies such as closed education institutions. Thus, learning activities that were done by face-to-face method have switched to the online learning system. Both lecturers and students expected to remain at home to carry out their responsibilities by using the video and audio conferencing tool such as Google Meet. According to Google CEO Sundar Pichai 2020 announced that Google Meet teleconferencing service have adding 3 million users per day due to increased usage of the service. At school and workplace have to host class and meeting online while at home due to coronavirus. Therefore, this study will use TAM model to measure the impact of technology acceptance and measure the effect of technology on its user at UiTM Kedah. Then, the problem statement. According to Selvanathan 2020, in April 2020, the Malaysian government has been ordered the students to return to their hometown and continue their study via online learning, as the movement control order have been imposed to control the spread of coronavirus. Furthermore, according to Chief Statistician Datuk Seri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin say, access to mobile phone and computer also increased to 98.6% and 77.6% respectively in 2020, compared with 90.1% in 2019 and with 87% in 2018. Along with that, according to Azalia, Google Meet ranked second place for the best video conferencing app in Malaysia in 2020. Therefore, during the online learning, according to Azlan 2020, the effectiveness of teaching delivery depends heavily on the quality of the internet connection during live session. Thus, it will be challenging for students at rural areas with limited internet infrastructure. Also, this study used acceptance of Google Meet as it is synchronized with the U-Future system of UiTM Kedah, and mostly lecturers at UiTM Kedah use Google Meet as medium for teaching.
So in this study, there are 6 objectives and 6 questions and 4 hypotheses. For the hypothesis of this study, the first hypothesis is there is significant relationship between subjective norms and acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. The second hypothesis is there is significant relationship between computer self-efficacy and acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. The next hypothesis is there is significant relationship between system quality and acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. And the fourth hypothesis is there is significant relationship between information quality and acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. So from the hypothesis created in this study, we will be able to know whether the hypothesis is accepted or not once the data has been collected. In literature review, the acceptance of Google Meet is the dependent variables. According to Al-Adwan et al. 2013, students' involvement and acceptance must be considered, otherwise advanced systems will most likely fail. From this study, it shows that the potential of Google Meet as an online learning tool will enhance education and training performance if users accept it. In this study, technology acceptance model has been used to utilize this research, and it constructs perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use to be applied. In the study of Al-Ma'ruf et al. 2020, the validation of the effectiveness of technology or virtual class application is highly dependent on the adoption of the technology as a means for distance learning. It is believed that the adoption of innovative ways of teaching, which is Google Meet, will encourage to focus on the factors of usefulness and ease of use. For the first independent variables, which is subjective norms, it has been widely used in a study to extend technologies acceptance model in the field of e-learning. According to Venkatesh and Davies 2000, subjective norms are the factors to indicate which individual feels that others think they should or should not perform a particular behavior. In previous study, the influence of subjective norms on the constructs of technology acceptance model in e-learning has been studied in the literature, and the findings are contradictory. According to Yi and Huang, computer self-efficacy is defined as an individual judgment of efficacy across multiple computer domains and applications. It is believed that self-efficacy is considered to have high influence, especially on the perceived ease of use. And a study by Chin 2012 found that learners' computer self-efficacy has a moderating effect on the relationship between system functionality and training effectiveness. This can be proved through the hypothesis of the study where the higher the computer self-efficacy, the stronger is the relationship between functionality and effectiveness and vice versa. According to Kalisi et al. 2014, the system quality as the desired characteristics of the information system that produce the information such as response time, reliability, convenience of access, flexibility of system, and system accessibility are some of the measures of system quality. It shows that perceived system quality are found to be the experiences of perceived ease of use as system quality. According to Salim Al-Hamad and Al-Imran et al. 2019, information quality refers to using e-learning for seeking information that may be important for learning and which is updated so as to make it easier for the learners to comprehend it. The characteristics of the information qualities may include tailor-made, complete, relevant, easy to understand, and secure. Technology acceptance model deal with the acceptance of technology products. The finding shows the information quality affects perceived usefulness.
Next, I will present the conceptual framework. According to Davis 1989, most of the studies that use TAM model as the framework have shown that perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use are the significant factors toward technology use and intention to use the technology. Therefore, in this study, the dependent variable, which is acceptance of Google Meet, was influenced by the independent variable, which is perceived ease of use with individual factor, the computer self-efficacy and subjective norm. Also, perceived usefulness with system characteristic, which is system quality and information quality. Hence, this study will figure out whether the independent variable has significant relationship with acceptance of Google Meet.
For the research design in this study, so we use quantitative research approach, which we use numerical forms in collecting the data. So in this study, we choose students who have experience in using Google Meet, which is students from University Technology Mara, Cawangan, Kedah. And from the population of the students of UiTM Kedah, we divided them into cluster since we use cluster sampling technique. So we divided them into cluster, which is into their faculty. And from that cluster, we choose one faculty, which is Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies. There are a total of 214 students from that faculty, and we choose 130 respondents for the sample size from the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies. So in this data analysis, in order to collect the data, we use Google Forms and we distributed the Google through a WhatsApp group that consists of the students from Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, which is from the Bachelor of Administrative Science Committee group and Diploma in Public Administration Committee group. So from that group, we are able to collect the data. And in the questionnaires that we distributed, we used bilingual so that they can understand for both language, which is English and Malay language. And there are 7 parts in the questionnaires: demographic of the respondents, perceived ease of use, subjective norms, computer self-efficacy, perceived usefulness, system quality, and information quality. And for the data analysis, we use Pearson correlation and multiple regression analysis. For Pearson correlation, we use it in order to identify whether the hypotheses created in this study are accepted or not. And for the multiple regression analysis, we use it as we want to identify which one of the factors that are dominant to the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students.
Then, for the data measurement and analysis table, in this table have present all the 6 research objectives that include the relationship with acceptance of Google Meet and independent variable, and all the measurement that the researcher use is Likert scale, which is first is strongly disagree, second is disagree, third is neutral, fourth is agree, and lastly fifth is strongly agree. All the data analysis for the first objective use descriptive analysis, followed with second until fifth objective use Pearson correlation, and last objective to find out the most dominant intention is using the multiple regression. Next is the finding. The finding for the research question will be answered for the RQ1. The result from the descriptive analysis obtained is the average mean score of 5 items used in measuring the extent of the acceptance of Google Meet is at 430, which is above 350. Therefore, the hypothesis is there is positive relationship on the acceptance of Google Meet as part of the learning mode among UiTM Kedah students. Then RQ2, the result obtained from the correlation analysis. The value of R equal to 0.652 and P equal to 0.000 less than 0.05. The hypothesis 1 is accepted. We have significant relationship between subjective norm and the dependent variable. After that, RQ3, the result of the finding of the correlation analysis, the value of R equal to 0.544 and 4 equal to 0.000. The hypothesis for the RQ3 is accepted. There is significant relationship between computer self-efficacy and the acceptance of Google Meet.
For research questions 4 and 5, the results shows that there is significant relationship between those two variables, which is system quality and information quality, with the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. This is because the p-value for system quality and information quality shows that the value of the p-value is below than 0.05. And for the 6 research questions, in order to answer the most dominant factors, we use multiple regression analysis. And the results shows that system quality is the most dominant factors that influence the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students, where the beta value for the system quality is the highest among other variables, which is 0.328. For the first research objective, it shows that these findings are supported by previous study, which is conducted by Al-Maruf et al. 2021, where it is found that Google Meet as an online platform has been highly evaluated as useful during the spread of coronavirus. For the second objectives, the findings are supported from the previous study by Al-Maruf et al. 2020, where the results of subjective norms factors shows that peers' opinions have an effective role in creating an influential educational environment. And the third objective shows that these findings are consistent with the previous study conducted by Binyamin et al. 2018, where the students' computer self-efficacy is hypothesized to positively influence perceived ease of use. For the fourth objectives, it can be supported by previous studies on e-learning system, which a study conducted by Salum et al. 2019, it said that concerning the system characteristics, the results demonstrated that system quality have significant positive effects on the students' perceived ease of use of e-learning system. And the next objective can be supported by a previous study also conducted by Salum et al. 2019, where the study used the same model, which is technology acceptance model, in order to assess students' acceptance towards e-learning. It is found that information quality have significant relationship on students' perceived ease of use of e-learning systems. For the dominant factors, it is found that system quality has the most influential factors towards the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students, where the p-value for system quality is highest among other variables, which is 0.328. And it can be concluded that system quality is the most dominant factors that influence the acceptance of Google Meet among students in Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies in UiTM Kedah. Of this study, it is recommended that in future research, the researcher will focus more on many types of respondents. In our study, we only focus on two age range of respondents, which is from 18 years old to 25 years old. So in the future study, the researcher can focus on different age range of the respondents. And for the next recommendations is to focus on other geographical location, which in our study we only focus on one faculty in one institution, which is Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies in UiTM Kedah. So in the future research, the researcher may conduct this study to focus on other faculty from other institutions.
To be concluded, based on proven results in the finding obtained has shown that all independent variables have positive relationship toward the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. System quality has the most influential factors toward the acceptance of Google Meet among UiTM Kedah students. Therefore, this study has contributed toward the importance of the Google Meet during online learning and can assist the lecturer and student for more understanding on this application. It will give awareness for the university to aware the factor that influence students on the acceptance of Google Meet. That's all from us. Thank you.